the sake of saying it. I mean, they must have done a proper forecasting and all that. So maybe it's true. So if it is US is 200,000, countries like India, especially with less, health facilities, so I think it will hit harder, definitely.
So what about Sri Lanka? What's your assessment, mate, about Sri Lanka?
So I think my feeling is that we are managing it really well as of now as a country, other than some, a few crazy people, one or two guys who are really messing the entire system. But other than that, I think we are at least trying to manage. But the problem is when you do like 100% lockdown or at least 95% lockdown, then the economy is the next target. So I think that's what has happened here. I mean, we could have done it the other way around. We don't go for a lockdown, but we manage it with different. Then we can keep the economy floating, but then
the people will die.
Exactly. Yeah. So the problem is how long we can keep it. Whether it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year. So even if we manage the first, whatever the wave or whatever, in the next 3 months, the second wave might come. So that's the problem. So I think what you mentioned, that number two is the one.
It's likely to happen.
Yes, yeah, likely to happen.
So while I was speaking to you, I was looking at the numbers. I mean, today, now as we speak, it's 1.386 million cases and 79,000 deaths. Now, one of the things when I look at these numbers, Hemi, I mean, one of the things I'm fascinated about the fact that is, China. I mean, by the you're back on. China seems to have. I mean, they started this, and the numbers are like 32, 33, 35. What's going on there? I mean, what is your opinion about that?
Well, it's.
Oh, you don't want to comment?
You can't believe those numbers. So
that's the thing. I mean, it cannot be, right? I mean, it just cannot be.
I personally think the number of deaths and number of affected people must be at least 10 times more, at least.
In China.
So, because it's a Wuhan itself is about 11 million population. Yeah. So unless there are two options, one is, this normal epidemics, there are only two scenarios. One is, both is one scenario. You find this particular thing called herd immunity. So you manage within the herd immunity, and then you can, that's the only way out. So that you can achieve, say half of the population get affected, or you find a vaccination. So those are the only two scenarios. Yeah. So if they have managed it in that way, it would be either it's a very highly locked down model like Sri Lanka.
Okay.
Nobody can go out. Everybody is locked in. And then, so we believe that that's what must have happened in Wuhan or China. So they manage it in
such a way. Because China can do that. Because China can do that, unlike in India.
Yeah, China can. Yeah, I mean, there's a very the system works like that. So that's the one way of only plausible way of happening it. So they have done like 100% lockdown. They manage every patient. They brought in all the facilities, the medical, whatever, and they have managed the situation. Not that it's over yet, but they have managed the situation. Second one is a conspiracy theory. They started it. They had the vaccination. They had everything, and they gave it to the entire world. And now through the vaccination, they managed the situation in China. So that's a conspiracy side. So I don't know which one to believe, but
that's an interesting one. There are enough conspiracy theories going around for this one. So there's an interesting news video I saw. There was a lady who was speaking about the fact that they created it. Now all their factories are now creating masks and stuff like that because their economy is now well underway. Whereas the entire rest of the country, so there's an interesting theories going on. I mean, let's see. So, Hemi, I mean, I think we came back on. We stopped the conversation, but we came back on because I wanted to record this session, this part again. So, one of the things that I also thought about is, it looks like getting COVID-19 now is like the best choice, best thing that could happen to you in a really weird, crooked, black magic kind of. I mean, tell me what you were saying at the moment for to this.
I thought the Prince Charles was trying that. That was the initial assumption. So when your health facilities at premium level, why not get it and get cured? Then you are survived.
Yeah,
but if you get the same thing after 3-4 months, when the entire system is on jeopardize, then your chance of survival is low, right? So it's about
because that's right. Because one of the things I've heard about these sessions, the matters in Italy also, because they are so overwhelmed and they had too many people. Beyond a certain point, they actually stop creating a certain percentage of they just can't keep up with it. And as a result, it's like save who you can and let whoever can't die type of thing. And I think, as you rightfully said, now that there's enough capacity, now going to the hospital and getting cured is like, at least the immune system now have worked in, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
But going into the place where when everyone is flooded and everybody is now under that thing, it's a very different ball game. And it's a very
different ball game. Yeah. Then you can't really, you can't hope. I mean, it has happened in, I think, even UK. There's nobody even pick you, even if you are like at the last stage. The ambulance come late. There's one guy, Sri Lankan guy died, because ambulance was late. And then there were issues that even you're at the last stage having difficulty in breathing, but still the hospital saying wait for some time, you'll get better, and that guy died. So
it's a really, really horrible situation. I think I think human race we are going to be tested in a way that we never thought possible, isn't it?
Exactly. So this is like a sci-fi film type of scenario, right? That we've been.
I mean, all the possible scenarios that could happen in your life. I mean, when you look at contract, there's something called acts of God kind of a thing on force majeure to terminate clauses, right? And I was thinking, like, this is an act of God type of a clause, right? This is where
obviously
you execute this clause now because you never thought it was always a force majeure, like just put it out type of thing. It's interesting.
So I think a lot of our contracts, I think we have to invoke that clause now.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Because we cannot do the world isn't the same anymore. Matt, thanks a lot. I mean, I know I recorded this part, and we'll have it in the video, and I will share with you on YouTube. Matt, thanks a lot again for the time. Again, take care of your family. All the best, and all the best to you.